should give answer in IELTS speaking part 2. Today I am not going to teach you IELTS speaking part 2 and part 1. Today I am solely focusing on IELTS speaking part 3. So what you need to do in IELTS speaking part 2. So when does the examiner ask you discussion questions? At first, examiner will ask you familiar questions about your hobbies, about your study, about your professions, okay, about your family members, about your daily activities. And after that, examiner will show you a cue card, and on that topic you need to speak. IELTS speaking part 2 is called what? Individual short term. And IELTS speaking part 1 is general introductions. Okay. And IELTS speaking part 3 is called discussion questions. Here you need to give longer answer. Longer answer demonstrates your linguistic capability. Linguistic means related to what? Language. Longer answer demonstrates your linguistic capability. Demonstrates means show. Linguistic means related to language. Capacity means ability. You don't have to give very short answer. You have to give long answer. But long answer doesn't mean that you should give irrelevant long answer. No, you should give relevant long answer. So these are the tips that you need to follow in IELTS speaking part 3. In IELTS speaking part 3, you shouldn't let the examiner speak more, you should speak more. So examiner is not there to show his linguistic ability. You are there to show your linguistic talent. Okay, you have to prove that you are linguistically sound. Linguistically sound. You have to prove that you are linguistically gifted. Okay, in IELTS speaking part 3. So number one tip is what? Expand your vocabulary. Unless you have a large number of vocabulary, unless you know lots of phrases, unless you know lots of idioms, unless you know lots of idiomatic expressions. Here, idiomatic expression doesn't mean that you have to use idioms only. Here, idiomatic expression means natural English. The English which is used by English native speaker. I mean the people who are from England, people who are from America. How they speak. If you are able to copy their sentences, if you are able to speak better English than the people of America and people of England do, then they can give you what? Better score. I mean here idiomatic expression. So number one is you have to use wide range of vocabulary in your IELTS speaking test. I mean, whenever you want to express your ideas, when you are expressing your innermost thoughts, you have to use wide range of vocabulary. And for that, what you need to do, you need to learn synonyms and antonyms. For example, if the examiner has asked you what are the advantages and disadvantages of internet, what you need to do, you have to replace the words of the examiners by using what? Synonyms. Like, what are the advantages and disadvantages of internet? Well, there can be so many pros and cons of what? Internet. Advantages, disadvantages, pros and cons, merits and demerits. Well, there are numerous merits and demerits of internet. Well, there are so many pros and cons of what? Internet. At first, what you need to do, you need to paraphrase the questions by replacing the words of the what? Examiner. By replacing the what? Words of what? Examiner. Okay? Are you getting me? Next. Do you think marriage is essential in our life? Yeah. So what is the synonym of essential? Crucial. And what is the synonym of marriage? It's called, let's say, wedding ceremony. You can say wedding ceremony. Wedding. And next synonym is to build a nuptial ties. Nuptial ties means vaivahik sambandha. And another word is matrimonial relationship. Vaivahik sambandha. Do you think marriage is necessary? Yes, I reckon marriage is crucial in our life. No need to replace so many words. Replace just 2 or 3 words only. If you begin to replace all words, you will sound unnatural. Replace few words only. Recon. What is the synonym of thing? Recon. What is the synonym of important? Crucial. Yes, marriage is crucial in our life. At first, you have to paraphrase the questions, and when you begin to paraphrase the questions, you have to use what? Synonyms. Are you getting me? Yes. Okay. Now, and don't repeat the same sentence. As I start speaking, sometimes I also repeat the same sentence. Okay. You are not machine. Okay. I mean, you are human being. No, human being can make mistake. Try your best not to repeat the sentence. If you have to repeat the sentence and use synonyms. For example, I love my family members. Okay. If you want to repeat again, at last I would like to say, I adore my family members. Love, Maya Garna. A-D-U-R-E. Adore also means Maya Garna. Okay. Number one tips, paraphrase the questions, and when you begin to paraphrase the questions of the examiner, use what? Synonyms. And number two tips, don't repeat the same sentence. If you have to repeat that sentence replacing by synonyms. Okay? Next. Now, what I would like to tell you here next, incorporate idiomatic expressions and phrasal verbs where appropriate. Let me tell you again, incorporate idiomatic expressions and phrasal verbs where appropriate. What do you mean by idiomatic expression? I have already said, idiomatic expression doesn't mean that you have to use lots of idioms. Idiomatic expression means you have to use natural English, standard English. That is called what? Idiomatic English. Okay. Like, let me give you one example. Most of the Nepalese students, if they have to translate these words, मैले हिजो परीक्षा दिएँ. Okay, they often say, yes, I gave exam yesterday, which is completely wrong English. You have to say, I took exam yesterday. I appeared in exam yesterday. Okay, so you don't have to speak with translated English. Okay, I took exam yesterday. Okay, if you are a teacher, if you have to say, म शिक्षक हूँ, हिजो मैले परीक्षा लिएँ. I am a teacher, I gave exam yesterday. Here, I gave exam yesterday means मैले परीक्षा लिएँ, दिए हैन, लिएँ. Okay, I mean you have to speak what? Idiomatic English. Idiomatic English means the way native speakers speak. Like native speakers, if they have to say, म तपाईलाई फेरि भेट्नेछु, I will catch you later. Here, catch doesn't mean समात्नु. Okay. Yeah, I will catch you later means म तपाईलाई पछि भेट्नेछु. It's what? Natural English. So, I totally believe in order to speak natural English, you must have spent so many years talking with native speakers. Once I was a tourist guide too. When I was a tourist guide, most of the time I used to speak in English with them. Sometimes I used to speak in Nepali. Okay, they wanted to learn Nepali. So once upon a time, once I was a tourist guide, okay, in my life, there at that time I got a chance to brush up my English. Brush up means improve. Okay, unless you develop genuine intimacy with native speakers, you can never speak admirable English, appreciable English. You have to develop genuine intimacy. You have to spend great deal of time by talking in English with what? Native speakers. Now, if you are unmarried, you, of course this boy is unmarried. Okay, you had better marry to a British girl. You had better marry to American girl. She will teach you natural English. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Are you getting me? Yeah. Yeah. The next tip is, today I am gonna say you tips only. Keep on listening only. Now you have to use complex sentence. So what do you mean by complex sentence? Here complex sentence doesn't mean that you have to speak very difficult sentence. You have to speak very awkward sentence. Here complex sentence means you have to show varieties in your English. Complex sentence means you have to show varieties in your English. So in order to construct complex sentences, you should combine, okay, simple sentences into complex ones by using conjunctions like although, because, since, and you have to use relative clause, okay, and you have to use relative clause a lot. You have to use conjunctions a lot, like she is blind, she walks comfortably on the way. So how do you make it complex? Although she is blind, she walks comfortably on the way. Okay. Now let me repeat. I will give you a chance to speak. Okay. Like uh, she's American lady. She speaks better Nepali than Nepalese people do. And how do you make it complex? Even though she is an American lady, she speaks better Nepali than Nepalese people do. Here do means what speak. Okay. This is how you have to make sentence complex. Now, although, even though he is a poor man, he gives donations to charitable organization. Though he is a poor man, he gives donations to charitable organizations. Though he is a poor man, he donates substantial money to what? Charitable organizations. Here substantial means what? Very, a lot. Okay. You can make sentence complex by using conjunctions like even though, although, though.
Even though, although, and in spite of.
Yeah, in spite of and despite also. You can ask me a question. In spite of intelligence, he couldn't pass the exam. Despite poverty, he did business successfully. You can use conjunctions like even though, although, though. We use even though, although, though conjunctions in order to express what? Unexpected results.
Although, in spite of, despite.
Yeah. All. Even like even though, although, though, in spite of, despite are the conjunctions. These conjunctions are used to express what? Unexpected results. Okay. Even though she is not my own sister, she loves me more than my own sister does. It is again unexpected. Okay. Even though she is ravishingly beautiful and mind-blowing, she is very, very humble. If girls are beautiful, most of the girls are arrogant. Arrogant means they think themselves better than others. Okay. So, if again it is what? Unexpected. So, what I mean here, you have to use complex sentence. Okay. And another tips I would like to give you. So, in order to give additional information about any place, person or things, you have to use relative clause. So, relative clause are here which, what, that, where, how often, who, whom. These are what? Relative clause. Like for example, use relative clause to add more information. In Ielts speaking part 2 also, part 1 also, part 3 also, you have to use relative clause to give additional information. For example, the book which I read last week was fascinating. The book, I have used the book which I read last week was fascinating. Fascinating means very, very interesting. The book, I am using here the, no need to write. Everything is in your, I am sending you. It will be in your laptop, WhatsApp group. Okay. No, I have sent you. I have sent you. Okay. Yeah. The book which I read last week was fascinating. Why I am using here the? Because I am fixing. If you have to fix some things, you have to use the. The girl whom you met last night is very dangerous. Okay. So I am talking about the fixed girl. The girl whom you met last night is very, very morally sound. Morally sound means good character, noble, okay, intelligent. The girl whose character is good, what? Morally sound. The girl whom you met last night is what? Morally sound. Okay. So, okay. Speak about the place where you like to visit. The place where I often like to visit is Pokhara. I am using the because I am fixing Pokhara. Okay. So you have there you can use what? The article. I mean, in Ielts speaking part 3, most of the time try to use what? Add is a relative clause. Okay. So, okay. I mean, Let me give you example. The pen that I bought yesterday is very, very durable. The place where I love to visit is Pokhara. Okay. The person whom I want to talk is Balancha. Okay. Like, okay. You have to use what? Relative clause. So by using relative clause, you can give what? Additional informations. Okay. So number 2 tips is what? Use complex sentence and use conjunctions like even though, although, though, and use relative clause to give additional information about any person's place or thing. Now, if you have any questions regarding these 2 topics, please feel free to ask. I am remaining silent just for 3 minutes.
Any questions, Anand? Let's read it.
Can I go ahead?
Yes.
Now, okay. Now, my third tip is structure your answer. What does it mean? Structure your answer. And in IELTS speaking part 3, at first you have to paraphrase the questions. That is called introductory paragraph. Okay. After that, you have to give nice explanations. And after that, you have to give examples. And after that, you have to give conclusion. Okay. Introductions, explanations, examples, and what? Conclusion. For example, what are the advantages and disadvantages of internet? Okay. At first you have to give introductions. Well, at first you have to paraphrase the questions and say something about introductions. Well, there are so many pros and cons of internet. Today I would like to say some merits and demerits about it. Internet gives us adequate information, and using internet intelligently, some people have become rocket scientists like Elon Musk. Okay, and internet has many merits. At first, okay, we can upload YouTube video by the help of internet, and secondly, we can do business, and thirdly, we can chat with our friends who are geographically far away from us. Okay, thus internet is helping us to provide comforts to every human being. Like this, you have to give answer. So what you need to do in IELTS is speaking less, especially part 3. You have to paraphrase the questions, you have to give explanations, you have to give examples, and you have to conclude your statement. So let me repeat it. As you begin to give introductions, what you need to do, you have to start with a clear statement of your opinion or a summary of your response to the questions. And when you start explaining something, what you need to do, you need to provide details, reasons to support your answers. You need to provide detailed reasons to support your opinions and explain why you think so. And whenever you want to give your example, you should give very specific examples to illustrate your, personal anecdotes, your personal experience. You can give, you can give examples. You can give that type of examples which you have seen in your society. Okay, you can give your personal example also. At last, you have to conclude. You have to give conclusion. So when you start giving your conclusion, what you need to do, you need to summarize your main points, restate your opinion in a concise way. Okay, so again, what I would like to tell you, number 1 is introductions, number 2 is explanations, number 3 is example, number 4 is what? Conclusion. So let me give you one example. Okay, what are the advantages and disadvantages of working from home? Explain it. Whenever you get all questions in IELTS speaking part 3, you have to speak on both sides. Okay, when somebody start working from home, what kind of advantages he has? Okay, he can spend quality time with his family members. One advantages. Another advantages, he can increase bond with family members. Bond means love. Next reasons, he can save time and he can save money. Okay. Advantages. Again, if you have to speak about disadvantages, you have to use the linking words very, very properly. Like, on the contrary, इसको ठीक उल्टो. Next example, on the other hand, इसको ठीक उल्टो. Next, however, इसको ठीक उल्टो. Okay, when somebody commences means सुरु गर्नु. You don't have to make your examiner understand. Commences means सुरु गर्नु. Commences means start. You don't have to humiliate him by paraphrasing the word. You have just spoken. But here I am doing just to help you. On the other hand, if somebody commences business from home, okay, it has so many disadvantages. I mean, one has to live very isolated life. So isolated means eklo zindagi. Okay, and secondly, one doesn't get time to socialize himself with the people who belong to other communities. As a result, he has to live very isolated life, and he cannot smarten himself. Okay, in order to smarten himself, you need the company of other people. You need to gain the thoughts of what you need to listen the thoughts of other people. You need to accumulate so much ideas. Okay, so it has both advantages and disadvantages. I mean, you have to speak on both sides. Okay, did you understand? Yes. Next, I should use cohesive devices. Use cohesive devices. You can write it. Okay. Now let me explain this. Okay, I'm going to explain this. Yeah. Next tip is what? You have to use cohesive devices. Here, what do you mean by cohesive devices? You have to use linking words and phrases to connect your ideas very smoothly. You have to use linking words and phrases to connect your ideas smoothly. Smoothly means राम्रो गइरहेको. Okay. So what are the linking words? Such as furthermore. Okay. Furthermore. यसको साथ साथमा in Nepali. Next, moreover. यसको साथ साथमा. Next, in addition. यसको साथ साथमा. Next, in addition to. यसको साथ साथमा. However. यसको ठीक उल्टो. Next, on the other hand. अर्कोतिर. Okay. So you have to use linking words very, very properly. Like, where can you use furthermore? Where can you use in addition to? Like, okay, businessman can make lots of money in short span of time. Okay. अब इसको साथ साथमा भन्नु पर्यो भने moreover they are respected in the society. यसको साथ साथमा in addition to they are respected in the society. Okay. You can use like moreover, in addition to, furthermore, likewise, what is more. To support the previous statement, you have to use the linking words like moreover. Next, in addition to, in additions, what is more, likewise, similarly, like learned people are respected all over the globe, whereas king is respected within his boundary only. विद्वान मान्छेहरुको विश्वभरि पूजा हुन्छ, राजाको पूजा चाहिँ उसको देशमा मात्रै हुन्छ. ओके. अब विद्वानलाई अझ सपोर्ट गर्नु पर्यो भने moreover intelligent, moreover well educated people can get job everywhere in every millisecond. यसको साथ साथमा विद्वान मान्छेले जहाँ पनि जागिर पाउँछ. So you have to use linking words like moreover, however, moreover, in addition to, likewise, furthermore, what is more. Okay. So here use cohesive devices means you have to use linking words very, very properly. You have to use linking words and you have to use phrases in order to speak very effectively and naturally. Okay. Now what you need to do, you have to keep in mind whether you are speaking logical things or not. Sometimes students speak illogical things, okay, which cannot impress your examiner. What you need to do, ensure your answer follow logically from one point to the next. You have to flow your logic smoothly, okay. You have to speak logical things. You don't have to speak irrelevant words, irrelevant things in IELTS speaking part 3. I hope you have understood it. Now, develop critical thinking. Okay. What do you mean by develop critical thinking here? Yeah, here you have to think about different perspectives on the topic. Okay, acknowledge alternative viewpoints and explain why you agree and disagree. For example, okay, do you think co-education can bring both merits and demerits? Okay, do you think co-education can bring both merits and demerits? Explain why. Yeah. Do you think co-education brings merits and demerits? Okay, if you get this type of questions, you have to speak on both sides. Yes, I reckon co-education brings several advantages and disadvantages. So what I mean here, if girls and boys, if they study in the same prestigious learning institutions, okay, slowly and gradually, boys will know how to show due respect to girls. Okay, as time passes, girls will surely know how to shower respect to boys. Okay, as time passes, okay, if they like each other, later on they can get married too. Okay, I mean, co-education has lots of advantages. On the contrary, it has lots of demerits also. So what I mean here, if boys and girls study in the same place, sooner or later, okay, they feel distractions. What I mean here, if the girl is attractive, if the girl is gorgeous, she can pull magnetically boy towards them, okay, and boys will be the puppet of the girls. As a result, both of them will spoil their future. Instead of reading books, they start dating in very romantic places and they waste their time. Okay, infatuation occurs if there is what co-educations. Okay, so one of the research done by Nepalese people, what they found in in Lalitpur there is one school, Saint Mary's schools, and what the researchers have found, in Saint Mary's schools only girls are allowed to go there. Only they accept girl students as their students. Boys are not welcome there. And what they have found, in when the result was published, when the SC result was published several times, girls shows better performance than the students who used to study in co-educational institutions, because the girl students who were admitted there, okay, I mean they were not distracted due to the what presence of what boys. Okay, if the boy is dashing, handsome and intelligent, he can also magnetically pull girls towards them. It's a natural phenomenon. Infatuation occurs everywhere. Okay, so what I mean here, co-education has both merits and demerits. So how I can give such a logical answers, because I have read IELTS essay intensively and extensively. If you have repeatedly read 1500 IELTS essays, I'm pretty sure you can get even 9 in speaking also. In speaking also, you need content to speak. Okay, just having got admirable fluency only, it won't be enough. You need to have content. I accumulated this content by reading books. Okay, you have to read books. Readers are leaders. Okay, now what's the time now? Now we have 3 minutes. Okay. So okay. Next, I'm talking about. I have to finish it today. This finish. Okay. Practice time management. What does it mean? Practice time management here. Okay. So as you start giving answers in IELTS speaking part 3, especially for one answer, you must invest at least 2 minutes. 1 to 2 minutes. If they ask you 6 questions, invest 10 minutes on what IELTS speaking part 2. Okay, and always give detailed answers. Don't give answers in one word and two words. Okay, let the examiner speak less and you have to speak more. What you need to do here, okay, you have to give detailed answers and you have to use relative clause, you have to use conjunctions, and you have to follow the method that I have just told, like introductions, explanations, examples, and what conclusions. Okay. Next is called is stay calm and confident. Okay. Stay calm and confident. What does it mean? Stay calm and confident. Don't show your nervousness to your examiner. It can create very negative impression. Stay calm and take deep breath before you start speaking. And speak clearly, and you have to speak in a what? Moderate pace. You have to speak in a what? Moderate pace. Moderate means thikkaku. Pace means gati. Some students speak English unnecessarily fast. Okay, it doesn't mean that they are good at English. So you need to speak English in moderate pace, neither fast nor slowly. Moderate pace. Okay, and okay. And okay, as you begin to speak, you have to show confidence on your eyes. You have to show excitement. Okay, you have to show excitement on your eyes, confidence on your eyes, and okay, and you should speak naturally. Okay, you don't have to show hesitations. Now, next step is what? Practice regularly. What does it mean? Practice regularly. Okay. What you need to do, I have sent you more than, I haven't counted how many questions I have sent, but I have sent many. Okay, so more than 300 questions. Okay, if you are aiming to score even 8 and 8.5 in speaking, if you have after 1 month, if you are going to appear in exam, practice 100 questions only. If you have enough time, practice 300 questions. And what you need to do, at first you have to collect the questions. Read 100 questions very nicely and read the 100 answers very nicely. If you don't have friends, just write questions on a piece of paper, okay, and start giving the answer and record your voice in your mobile phone and send that voice to your tutor, to your IELTS instructor. You can send me that voice in my cell phone and I will give you feedback. I will mention where you have committed mistake. Okay. Is correct questions, start giving answers and send your voice message to your what? Teacher. Okay. If you don't have time to come to the physical class. Okay. You have to record your voice. Okay. And you have to search the friends who are going to appear in what? IELTS exam. Share questions, share answers, record your voice. Okay. And what you need to do, another things, okay, you should receive comment from your instructor. Only accomplished IELTS instructors can give you constructive feedback on your spoken English. Okay. What do you mean by accomplished? Well trained. Trained IELTS instructors can give you feedback, positive feedback and negative feedback on your what? IELTS speaking. Okay. You have to source that kind of instructor who is very, very accomplished and who is very well trained. Okay. And what you need to do, next, you have to prepare such words like if the examiner asks you, speak about the place where you frequently visit. Okay, speak about the city where you frequently visit. If you have to speak about the city, what kind of words you need? Like if you have to say, Kathmandu is a bustling city. What do you mean by bustling city? That you have to know. Kathmandu is a sophisticated city. What do you mean by sophisticated city? Okay, bustling city, sophisticated city. Okay, stunning city, vibrant city, okay, physically well-equipped city. You have to prepare ideas and vocabulary related to those topics. Okay, speak about the person whom you admire. Okay, if you have to say Mahan Vyaktitva, how do you say? A man of charismatic personality. Narendra Modi is a man of what? Charismatic personality. Ernest Hemingway is a what? Celebrated writers. Kapil Sharma is Indian personality. Okay, like you have to gather such words. You have to collect such words. Okay. So this is all about what IELTS speaking part 3. Okay, questions and answers. So dear students, today I have taught you how you should give answers in IELTS speaking part 3. It's a discussion question. Here you have to speak more. Here what you longer answers demonstrates what? Your linguistic capability. Longer answers demonstrates your what? Linguistic capability. Okay. Now you have 10 minutes more. Okay. So take a rest. If you have any questions, you can ask me. I will have to remain silent for 5 minutes.
Hey guys, there's something to ask.
Give you time for it. Read these questions. I have sent you. Can you open your mobile? Read these questions. What are the advantages and disadvantages of working from home? At last, I would like to request to all my well-wishers to subscribe my channel and write comments in the comment box.
Press bell icon.
Okay.
For
Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah. That's all.